Hey everybody, welcome to live show 71 from Minsk, Belarus, and we're back. Well, only we were here on what day is it today? Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Sunday. We're here on Sunday. How you going, Duke?
Yeah, days are going fast.
Days.
Yeah, I just crept up. I said, "God, we just here yesterday, weren't we?" Probably because we were both traveling and coming back and getting things done. Cleaning things up after getting traveling. It just seems like time went much faster. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
hmm.
We're always on the move. What do you do? What have you been doing this last couple of days?
Oh, I don't even know. I'm nothing. Oh, what did I do? I got a
Did you get injured again?
not again. That I tell you what, that's just moving kind of slow. I don't even know what the heck did I do since I was injured. What was I doing?
Did you hit your head?
Oh, went to a Russian class. That's what I did yesterday all day. I was just checking out class and see what that's like.
Did you learn anything?
I learned that I forgot a lot of Russian. That I since you're not speaking it all the time, and even if I'm living in a Russian-speaking country, it's like terrible. So I got to get back into it. And then I think if I stay a lot longer, because the time I took was classes were 3 months, and then that's not long enough. And so if I stay 6 months and really really push it, try to speak mostly only Russian most of the time, I think I'll start having it ingrained in me, and I'll be able to speak it after, say, after 6 months, and then I can continue. I'm just guessing. I'm hoping.
I read today there's Chinese filmmaker and Belarusian one are making a film here. Chinese are paying 70% and Belarusians are paying 30%. It's getting made in Minsk. They're looking for actors.
Ah,
There you go.
speaking English, huh? Or German?
I don't know, probably Russian or Chinese.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm out of luck on that one. You never know.
You don't know. You don't know Mandarin.
Huh? Not anymore. No, I never did.
You've forgotten it. You haven't been using it.
No, I just know Mandarin oranges. I like that very much.
Oh, I don't think that's the same.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Yes. Okay.
What do you want to start with today?
Well, Belarus myself. I mean, Lukashenko did an interview for Rossiya One, Russian television station, and there's a couple, husband and wife, and they have a news show, and I guess the U.S. even watches this show very very much, and they have a lot of political people on there, and they go through issues. But Lukashenko was interviewed by the guy. I don't even know his name. I should have been trying to find out what's this guy's name, and all that sort of thing, and maybe listed their show. It's a Russian show, of course, and anyway, but he revealed a lot of interesting things. He was talking a lot about Zelensky, and it was like he reiterated what he said like maybe about a year ago. I don't know if we talked about it on the show. I don't know if you remember, but he was of the idea that Zelensky's probably going to come to a bad end. And a lot of people are saying, "Oh, that was like Adolf Hitler," and they compare everybody with Adolf Hitler today, whether it be Lukashenko or Trump or Zelensky or anybody that some people don't like. They Adolf Hitler. So, but in Zelensky's case, it comes much much closer because of the ideology and all that sort of thing. As a matter of fact, I even have a picture in here where he's there with his granddad, and they look very similar. Zelensky and his granddad Adolf. But yeah, Lukashenko said that Zelensky's gotten out of touch with his people, and he says that 70% of the Ukrainians hate him. He didn't say they don't like him, they don't approve. He said they hate him. And, oh boy, that would be really shocking if it is. He's got British bodyguards, and
Yeah, SAS.
nobody even knows where he's actually at anytime anyway, if he even is in Ukraine very often. So maybe he spends a lot of his time in Poland, scared, that either somebody will knock him off here. But Lukashenko believes that the Nazi ideology really doesn't resonate that well with the population. And obviously it doesn't for a lot of the people, but in some areas like Lvov, maybe a lot of people it does. You got to look at Israel too. And you see that basically it's Nazi ideology down there, and that does resonate with a lot of the people. They seem to want to, go mass murder Palestinians or hate Palestinians. It's a racist sort of a thing anyway there, unfortunately. It's terrible. And I'm not blaming Israelis or Ukrainians. It's governments that, are responsible for indoctrinating their people to think that way.
Yeah, we see what this was posted today, this thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They sound similar, these two places, these two.
Yeah, they've been comparing it for a long time. They showed like these film footage even for many years, and they're showing the Israelis herding them onto buses, with blindfolds and their hands tied behind their back, and then they show the Nazi a similarity thing when they were doing it with people. And a lot of time it's much worse now what they're doing in Israel than what the Nazis were doing with Jews back in those days. So, but anyway,
I did notice a lot of videos in which I mentioned last show from Ukraine and from Israel that are similar. Like them looting shops and then destroying stuff in houses.
Yeah, there was one where they're going into a shop in Kursk, and they're smashing everything up and laughing and all that sort of thing. And then you can see the identical thing of them doing that the Israelis doing that in Gaza. Soldiers doing it in Palestinian shops, even in the West Bank. And they've been doing that for decades. So I guess it's going to happen everywhere, no matter what, that happens. But Lukashenko saying that a lot of those people, I don't understand it, but they don't want to go die in the meat grinder, the Ukrainians, being sarcastic, of course. He believes much of the country has already been denazified. And I'm thinking he's meaning that the trend, the Nazi trend has been greatly diminished. I'm thinking because you still see a lot of Nazis. So we have I think it's got subtitles. The first number one is Lukashenko.
This one?
Yeah, talking about Zelensky's fate and a little bit more besides.
Okay, let's listen to this.
With subtitles.
Or read this.
Да, Володя Зеленскому говорю, слушай, власть там поменяется, и новый руководитель скажет, слушай, я не знаю, я не слышал. Так же было всегда, поэтому давай строить отношения, исходя из наших интересов и принципов. Не понимаю. Это в голову не вложишь, если ты занимался неизвестно чем, пришел в политику, и ты к этому не готов. А еще деньги любишь. Вот тебе денег немножко дали, в Англии сказали, вот свободно, за эти деньги купи. И он будет там с Аленой сидеть и с детишками радоваться. Да не будешь ты радоваться. Ты будешь для своего народа предателем. И в конце концов, тот же Кирилл Буданов пошлет кого-нибудь ликвидировать. Как предателя. Вот и все. Тоже надо не исключать такую возможность.
Yeah, it's always interesting, this Lukashenko, when it's some of the things he says, that's fascinating. Gives you food for thought. And anyway, he said quite a while ago that he was probably going to meet a bad end, and that's kind of what he's referring to right here,
Now that's what Colonel McGregor and Scott Ritter and all that have said as well.
Yeah. Well, some of those people said some, very interesting things from the very beginning. Like even Scott Ritter was saying that the purpose of Belarus and any kind of troops, Russian troops or whatever, Belarusian troops in Belarus, is to watch Russia's back, and so that the Baltic states and Poland don't come in and sneak, and stab Russia in the back and all that. So, and there's so much like misinformation. We have another video, and it'll come up of somebody else talking about Belarus, but it's a little bit off. They change things a little bit to make it where people will believe something false, but we'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, there's a picture of Zelensky and his dad. It's called Father and Son.
This one?
Yeah, look at how similar noses, same pair. I think maybe they hand-me-down glasses, all that sort of deal. Same mouth expression with their mouths. Just have to shave a little bit of different. Wow, incredible. It's I guess that's what happens when you start acting like that. And got Zelensky, all his mansions. He's got one winery, a casino. He's owns media companies, lots of businesses all over the place. but it might not be enough to save him, and on his billions. I wonder where he parks his money. I'm sure he's got a heck of a lot of cash too. I wonder if he keeps it in Ukraine or the U.S. Probably. Yeah. And
probably London.
Yeah. Now we have, let's see, and this Nord Stream bombing. Yeah, I have a picture of the Nord Stream. People can know what it looks like. Oh, look at that! Isn't that pretty? And they're asking what Zelensky's role in that was. With this new story, there was a new twist on this story just last past couple of days too, even since the last live stream we had. Yeah, it's fake. I don't even try to remember it because I know that it's not true. But what was it? Some of the facts that I remember now, they had this guy, and he was in Germany this whole entire time, supposedly. This is the fake, what they want. This is what Wall Street Journal wants us to believe.
Mm-hmm.
And strangely enough, the original fake story was put out by German media. And now the German media is turning against that story because it's being put out this time by the Wall Street Journal. And the Wall Street Journal, is talking about, oh, this guy was hanging around in Germany all this time. Nobody ever thought of arresting him or whatever. And then he escaped across the border, and now he's in Ukraine. And so many people are asking these questions, like, where's his photo? Where's a picture of this guy? They know who this guy is. How come we're not seeing any photos?
Mm.
And then they said, and his accomplice is supposed to be in jail in Ukraine for some other offense. And we don't see that picture of that guy either. All this stuff is, I think they're just embellishing this fake story to make people think, oh, it must be real because of these details and all this kind of stuff they're coming up with. But so many experts have been coming out and saying, you couldn't put all those explosives on that little yacht. And I don't know. I don't even remember all this stuff because I just, I would have had to write it down here because, to remember a bunch of BS that isn't true, you have to write it down and read it. And I didn't even want to do it. But it's all fake anyway, these guys. Oh, and the guy's name that's wanted is Vladimir Z. Like Vladimir Zelensky. It's like, come on, like, oh, they couldn't think of a name fast enough. So, when they were maybe being questioned, so that's the only one they can think of. I don't know.
How come they didn't give his full name?
Yeah, that's another question. Why isn't his full name there? And then they're asking well, what was Zelensky's role in this? And then they're saying, oh, Zaluzny, he was supposed to be the guy that. First they said it was him that planned it, and now they're saying, oh, he put the stamp of approval on it. So why is he the ambassador to the UK now? And another question was, why didn't Denmark and Sweden finish the investigation? They ended it, and I can't remember even what they said, why they stopped the investigation. And Scott Ritter was saying at the beginning, since he was a weapons inspector, and he said, you will find traces all over the place near those explosions, and you can find out where those weapons came from because they'll have a signature in it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. The technical complexity, the pipelines are very deep underwater, as we know.
80 meters,
requiring not just diving expertise, but also the ability to handle and place explosives at depths around 80 meters.
And they're very sophisticated explosives.
Yeah, this involves significant logistical challenges, including complex and exceptional expert managing of decompression times, ultra-precise navigation, absolute superhuman act of manually attaching large amounts of explosives to a concrete encased pipeline.
More than that, they need special equipment. You need electric saws to saw into where they can implant it into the pipeline.
Well, it's probably shaped charges. And then explosive handling. The operation would have required specifically prepared military-grade explosives. Handling them underwater adds another layer of exceptional difficulty. The precision needed to cause the kind of damage observed suggests not just any explosives, but ones that are designed for such a task. So they were designed for that, and likely requiring specialized knowledge and large-scale operational support and training.
Yeah.
And then the operational security. How do you carry out an act of covertly in international waters where surveillance was, and it's incredibly high in that area, right? Mm-hmm. And requires operational security that's far beyond what a small ad hoc group might be able to achieve without significant backing or training. And the very idea of the scale of position attack could have been carried out without deep sea submersible capabilities. It's essentially ludicrous. And logistics, renting a yacht, navigating to the exact location, right? executing the practical impossible sabotage without immediately detection or interception. So they blew this thing up and then what, just vanished? How did that happen? You know, in a yacht. Obviously beyond the few people on the yacht. This includes covertly securing the vessel, fitting it to carry large amounts of explosives, capable of operating in hostile marine environment, and ensuring it's not tracked, all while managing the logistics of the operational itself. What's most fascinating about this pathetic, cobbled fantasy story, peddled by the client media, is the fact that the lie now told will have to be told all the time, continuously. They can't go back on it. So there you go. So what's more worrying is the Americans wanting to destroy a strategic piece of infrastructure beneficial to Russo-European unity. They openly warned us they would destroy it. It was completed and opened, and of course, they just did that.
Yes, Victoria Nuland said there, and George Bush. Isn't that incredible? I mean, Joe Biden. I can't believe it. You know, and what have they been saying lately about Seymour Hersh's version, which sounds far, far, far more plausible?
Yeah, well, they keep saying that's bullshit, but you know.
Yeah, but they can't disprove anything about it, you know. And it all makes a lot more sense, and it all fits together.
Exactly.
Isn't that incredible? You know, then some guys in a like Skipper and Marianne and the professor going out on
Gilligan.
Gilligan, I think. Yeah, and then some Gilligan left their passport on the boat or something like that. Or...
Yeah, they all left their passports.
They did.
Yeah, all of them. That's how they found them.
Yeah, it's
that's what we discussed the other day. It's like the passports in 9/11.
I didn't know all of them. I thought a couple of them maybe.
No.
Oh, that's just BS.
Well, there was only 3 of them, wasn't there, on the boat or something, or 3 or 4 or something, whatever it was.
Well, it was not enough, no matter what. I think, you know, it's like I think it was like 3 guys and a woman or something like that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And only one of them could dive.
No, I was thinking the one I saw, was it yesterday? I think they were saying 2. Well, that story said the guy that's in prison right now for some other offense in Ukraine that also they don't have a picture of him or nothing, and I don't know that he was a diver as well.
Okay.
And this other guy was the Osama bin Laden that they're trying to find
so
out.
Why isn't Germany upset with Poland and Ukraine now?
Yeah. There's so many things. I guess if you start looking and start diving into the diving into this whole thing, you find all these inconsistencies, and that they weren't upset. Poland wasn't upset. Of course, they're going to get the what is it? The next day or days after that, they opened up the pipeline between I can't remember the name of it, between Norway and Poland, and that's when what was it, foreign minister said thank you, United States,
yep.
in
tweeted
a tweet.
out. Yeah, tweeted out.
Yeah, my God. No. And even Orban said right after that the United States did it. It's not like he said I think he did. He heard, and he's good friends with Poland, by the way. I mean, they were, at least back then. Maybe they still are, because they had this immigration deal that they didn't want to keep, you know, open the borders and let everybody in. Poland didn't, and Hungary, so they, you know, they had a common theme back then. So he probably heard. Obviously, it looks like Poland has some involvement in this. Is what I'm probably trying to get at here. Yes, Vladimir Z and the Andromeda. I can't even remember what is Andromeda in Greek.
How long before the movie's out?
Yeah, they got to do that. Oh my God, I wonder who's going to play who. Brad Pitt will be playing the diver, or Zelensky himself, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, Vladimir Z.
Sean Penn will be playing Zelensky.
Yeah, that's another one. Either Zelensky himself will play Vladimir Z, or Sean Penn. Incredible. Yeah, I'm just waiting for that one. Maybe because Zelensky might be looking for another job in the near future if Lukashenko is accurate. So yeah. So no photos, and I forgot to mention Lukashenko was also saying recently that Ukrainians, Russians, and he said this even before. He said, well, I'll get to that in a second. But he said recently, that Ukrainians, Russians, and Belarusians will eventually, didn't say a time, be together again because the Ukrainians will soon realize that the West used them, then abandoned them. It's a way of saying the United States is using them as useful idiots. And of course they are. They use virtually everybody as useful idiots.
Yeah, didn't they do that with the Chechens?
Yeah, who haven't they done that with?
That's why there was that war, and then they realized.
Yeah, but normally, if they get some leader that hands over all their resources to the United States, I think they give them, because by that time they got a whole bunch of money as well, so they let them stay in the United States, probably because they can spend that money in the United States that they
Yeah,
gave
Zelensky
them.
would probably be living in Florida.
Yeah, I think
I mentioned that.
there was at one time they were saying they were readying his place in Florida for him to move there, but do you remember that? It was just a rumor at that time. I can't remember what that was about and why they were saying it. Of course, obviously it didn't happen. Maybe something was going wrong then. Yeah, the only one that really seems to be getting the fabulous treatment any country really is Israel. Where they treat him kind of as a equal. Everybody else is to some extent subservient. Some are more subservient than others. But there's another story that is developing. Some people are talking about it, and it's of course been developing for quite a while. You guys might have been hearing about Serbia, and it looks like the U.S. is preparing a color revolution there.
No.
No, it
I'm
can't
shocked.
happen.
I'm shocked.
Well, they'd love to do color revolutions everywhere. The one didn't work in Georgia. As a matter of fact, Chabo, I was reading something from him because he wrote it really well.
They haven't done very well lately. That didn't work in Belarus. Didn't work
Yeah.
in.
Well, he was even mentioned that Chabo.
Yeah.
He's a correspondent for RT.
Didn't work in
I'm sure.
Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
Didn't work in
Belarus.
Georgia.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, the one in Belarus is the one he was
No,
talking
they
about.
tried twice.
He said so right away. They're just now moving everything, and they're working on it in Serbia. But I think the Georgians got rid of a lot of the NGOs, and I don't know.
Got to
about
get rid
Serbia.
of the NGOs in your country,
Yeah.
like those 3 African countries. Go with the beret.
Oh yeah. We'll be mentioning that in a second here too.
Yeah, they got rid of that.
Yeah, that was.
Belarus got rid of them.
Maybe I'll jump up. What did I write about that? Yeah,
No, go to that later.
Yeah, well, that's soon here any second. I was just talking mostly about Serbia. Serbia to me is, we're back.
I don't understand. Well, we've lost.
Hmm?
That's really weird. That was the internet. It wasn't us.
Wasn't me. Right on the counter. Wasn't me. Once over. How could I forget that I had your key? Oh, are you sure we're on? People are listening to me singing?
They're now leaving.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. No, I thought they were going to send a contract. All this time, she never took her eyes off me. My time in the Caribbean, I guess. A lot of guys sing like that.
Really?
Yeah. So, should I keep talking now?
Yes, so everybody, what happened was we actually lost internet access. It wasn't a technical issue on our side. For some reason, the internet just dropped, and now we're back. So sorry about that. We're back on everything again.
It was the Ukrainians, I think, that did it.
Yes, they took us out.
Yeah. But anyway, we were talking about something like, they have this shared border in Africa, these countries, Burkina Faso and Mali and Niger. And, they have that block, and it's very, very nice. And I'll tell you what, since these guys, look at Serbia, Hungary, Slovakia, how do you say that? It's not like they're friends with Russia, but they're not enemies of Russia. And all the other ones, they're demanded by the EU and the United States, which basically the EU is puppets of the United States. So it's all taking orders from the United States. All these countries, they demand that they hate Russia. And you got to do everything possible because, to bring Russia to its knees so the U.S., can go in and maybe give a couple crumbs to all the rest of these countries, but the U.S. wants all those resources, And so, but they have that, the Sahel countries, a lot of people call it. Sahel's kind of a region. It's not, but anyway, they call those the Sahel countries because they're all located in the Sahel part of Africa. But these guys, if you look at Slovakia, Hungary, Serbia, I'll tell you what, they need to start some kind of a union like that as well. And sort of band together. What did they say in the American Revolution? We either hang together or we'll hang separately. So, if they don't, try to help each other out, the U.S. is going to take them all down. And that's what I'm saying right now. Looks like they're going after Serbia. And of course, at the same time, they're going after Hungary, as they usually do. I haven't heard any rumblings about Slovakia yet, except for that assassination attempt on Fico. But, they want to get Orban, and they tried an assassination attempt right around the same time. But they they hit Fico, and they didn't. It didn't work at all with Orban, but it was going on at the same time. So this is some wicked stuff. And Vucic from Serbia, you know they want to get rid of him too. And you look right down below there, you see Kosovo, and that's where I believe that is the biggest foreign U.S. base. The biggest military base, I think, in the world, I believe, is Fort Hood, Texas. At least that's what I've always been told. And the biggest U.S. foreign military base is in Kosovo, right there. And yeah, that's a puppet state. And
well, that's why they bombed Yugoslavia, so they could break it up and then put their NATO base in Kosovo, isn't it?
Yeah, and I guess it's all for for a system of control. And now Ukraine and Kosovo are really close buddies. At first, Ukraine would not support Kosovo because, if they supported Kosovo, then it would be like hypocritical, because then the world, it would be like showing that everybody then can support Ukraine being part of Russia. So, but now they've switched, and now they're supporting Kosovo. And yeah, Russia, like I said, they got their hands full, so who knows what's going to happen with that. But they better hang together, you guys. I order you to. So
There you go.
yeah. So yeah, do not yeah. If they, well, Chabo was mentioning the Atlanticists. A lot of people say the establishment or the globalists or whatever, but he might be right. Atlanticists, maybe a little bit more accurate, will destroy them. Well, he used the word Atlanticist, but I'm putting in my thing that they should stay together.
And Mr. Burns is in, where was he?
Yeah, that was my next one. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Mr. Burns. He's
Mr. Burns.
Not from Simpsons.
No.
Smithers released the hounds. William Burns.
Release the Color Revolution.
Released the Color Revolution. Yeah, he's in Kosovo
This
right
guy.
now. Yeah, look at that. Nice sort of.
Wasn't he a ambassador to Russia who said that
I think he was.
that
yes.
if NATO moved closer to Russia, there would be problems?
Yeah, and he's not such a dummy, and I don't think he's a like when Pompeo was there, he's a what's the word, bastard. He's a bastard. I don't know if he's such a bastard, but they
Do you
demanded.
want to say that about Pompeo? He was going to get Julian Assange assassinated.
Yeah, yeah, and he said, we lie, we cheat, we steal. He might have said kill, but if he didn't say kill, they kill too. Well, ha 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 ha, the CIA. But this guy, I think he's
Still fun and games.
yeah, but I think he's actually more a rational person, so I don't want to hit on him too much, but it's just the fact that he's in charge of the CIA and he's got a certain job, and his bosses demand a certain things from him, and there are rogue elements in the CIA. And the difference, he's meeting there with the security people from Bosnia, and there's kind of like a, you look at some of these security people like Russia or Belarus, they're there to gather information. That's what their job is, intelligence, to gather information. But the United States and Israel and Great Britain are different. They have also a department of saboteurs. They saboteur things. They blow things up. They kill people and all that sort of deal. So it's not just intelligence. It's actually, you want to give it the real name? They're terrorists. They have terrorist departments. So the USA, maybe people should be calling the CIA, they have a department of terrorism. And yeah, but like I'm saying, they got some NGOs and things like that there. So in Serbia, so I'm hoping things are not going to be so bad. They did still have NGOs in Georgia, but I think by now they're, the whole deal was with that law, and was to get rid of the NGOs and to get so that they don't have all these people. And Kazakhstan has these. We mentioned this before. They have these cells, and they had them in Belarus, and they might. As a matter of fact, I'm sure they still have them here. As a matter of fact, they were advertising them. To go to Vilnius and Riga and get some training. To come back here and how to incite riots, and how to organize them, for overthrowing the Belarusian government. They advertised for it. I couldn't believe it. And yeah, but and you go, when you have these meetings, you can watch American movies, and you get American food, and you can get some Converse shoes and Coca-Cola, stuff like that. wow, I'm going to join. But another NGO is now just got banned from Russia's.
Even though the Coca-Cola is made in Russia.
Yeah, now it is. Yeah, they even make a lot of that stuff here. I think Lay's potato chips, I think, is from Belarus too now. That's when they were taking chips out of washing machines. You know, they're putting chips.
Mm.
You know, I was showing a bag of chips. I had some Lay's chips. So they make chips in Belarus too. They don't need to take them out of washing machines. I've never found a bag of potato chips in the washing machine. I just don't understand what they're getting at when they say that. Ursula von der Leyen.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, another NGO, and Russia has just now said, you're not going to be allowed here anymore. And that's the Clooney Foundation. Good old George Clooney. And George Clooney, this foundation is tied, believe it or not, was tied to Epstein. Imagine that. And very heavily tied, even still, of course, because he's still alive, Bill Gates. And
surprising.
Maria Zakharova, matter of fact, I put her picture, but I didn't put a number, if you want to even put her up. I was thinking, gosh, there's something about her, but I couldn't find it in a story, but this is actually part of the story with her. A nice picture of her as well. So I don't know, you see how they can get such good photographs of her. But I don't think I put a number on it, so it's at the very end. Yeah, there she is. But anyway, she was talking, and obviously
this is our Maria Zakharova report.
Yeah.
Once every show.
Yeah, I try to put something up for her every show.
Really?
not that. You dirty mind. Gosh. Oh no, now I can't concentrate.
Remember, we want subscribers, everybody, because Duke wants to interview her, so we need more subscribers.
Yeah. Well, she's next time in a minute. Actually, she's real down to earth too. I saw her with Jackson Hinkle and stuff. She likes to laugh a lot and stuff. She seems really serious in a lot of these pictures here. Talking about serious things. But anyway, she was talking about that it's, and I think she more than just supposes it. I think she probably knows that a lot of these actors and things like that, they owe a lot of their success to working with like CIA and these NGOs and things like that. So, and George Clooney, he's got this, remember when he was saying...
It's like Sean Penn's NGO as well. That's funded by the...
I would have guessed he had an NGO, but I didn't know.
That's funded by the CIA.
I just was wondering, why is this guy,
and US aid and that.
Open his mouth and saying all this bull crap all the time?
Yeah, of course he's going.
And people, even I thought he was, it's kind of cool before, he was in kind of good shape for an older guy. And then you find out he's like, what is this guy, an idiot or something? A lot of these guys, you thought they were pretty decent. Like, I liked Robert De Niro's acting. But, he acts like an idiot when he talks politics. He has all this venom for Trump, and he never even has said anything concrete about why he doesn't like Trump. But he doesn't say why. And everybody's, well, give us a reason, maybe we'll dislike him too.
Well, actors are empty vessels, aren't they? Because they're just told what to do on the set.
Yeah. Well, there's things I don't like about Trump too, but I can even state what they are, but he can't, which is very strange. I love his acting still, Robert De Niro, But anyway, Maria Zakharova, and we're talking about what was this, George Clooney. Do you remember when George Clooney, back when they had all these migrants flowing in all over, he was telling everybody they should invite migrants into their homes, and he's got so many homes, and he doesn't have any migrants in his homes.
Didn't invite one? Not even one?
No, he didn't invite any. I didn't invite any either, but well, I got a couple. I got cats. They're migrants. Some came from maybe Egypt, as far as I know. I don't know. From the forest, originally in the old days. One's a black cat, so I don't know if it's from Africa. But anyway, so yes, William Burns, the Smithers released the hounds, and yeah. What else do we have here? So protest revolutions. Well, any of these NGOs and all this, what they're going to do, and I think in Serbia, I think somebody was suspecting what they're going to use is human rights. Somehow that Serbia, they did that one in Belarus too. And it reminds me, I just saw somebody, I was buying a cover for my cell phone, and I was talking to this one girl there.
Oh, that's right, this one who said this place is really bad.
Yeah, and I was, and she was.
Did you ask her what drug she was on?
Yeah, I was asking. I was say what I like it here, and all these expats and everybody that I know, everybody says they like it. We all say the same things, what we like here, and all that. And she, well, you don't really know what it's really like here, and and she's, I think she was, what was it, freedom or whatever, and whatever it was, it made no sense whatsoever. So it's like, I don't know if it was freedom or something, and it's like, well, I don't know how she's restrained. I really don't, because she can do everything I can do for the most part, I'm guessing. And I think one thing she was saying about was prisons. She was said political prisoners,
Like Julian Assange.
yeah, I could have started coming up with a whole bunch of these things, that she was saying something like, well, they can't just get any job when they get out of prison. And what I wasn't thinking is, it's like, well, damn, that's the same in the United States. And it has nothing to do with the government. They're not going to hire somebody who murdered somebody, or somebody
A felon,
or somebody broke into something, or, I mean, political prisoners. Because you don't want, I'll tell you what, there's somebody, and it's a relation of somebody that I know, and this guy, he was going to work, and he was trying to get everybody to, I think it was dislike Lukashenko, or I don't know if it was a party, but he didn't like the government. And the company just got sick of this guy because he's approaching everybody and talking bad. And it's not that even the people like the government, but they just got sick of this guy because people have to work, and this guy is going around inciting people and all this kind of stuff. And people were sick of listening to this guy. So, and I've known people in Belarus that served in prison.
That had happened to you if you were in the US and you were in New York somewhere and you were talking about Trump in your work.
Yeah, but when you, and the political prisoners, like, for example, if somebody dislikes Lukashenko and you start talking about it, he's not going to put you in prison for that. When you start, I mean, and this guy that I'm talking about, he's not in prison. He's never been to prison, but everybody knows that he's going around bad-mouthing Lukashenko. And Lukashenko has never put this guy in prison because he's never tried to overthrow the government. He just goes around spewing his mouth off. If he starts to say, oh, let's get together and overthrow the government, then of course they're probably going to start looking at him and, obviously.
You need to give her examples like people at January 6th.
Yeah, guys that, like, what do they call it? Insurrections. They didn't bring any guns. And,
they just walk through like, oh, look, that's nice. And
they have them on tape.
And they're in jail for 20 years.
No violence, no guns. And the Democrats said they were trying to overthrow the government. And what was this, who's this, Ortiz? Oh, we had this, and she made up some kind of embellished story or something, and she wasn't even in. She never even saw one of the protests.
Yeah, she wasn't even in the same building.
Yeah, some kind of crap. I tell you what, getting sick of what's going on in the world. Anyway, where are we at here?
It is interesting, hey, some of the people here think it's really bad, and you just think, have you seen what's going on outside?
Yeah, and I said, I think I even asked her, or maybe she was talking and I forgot after she was finished. Should have told her, well, why don't you go over there? As a matter of fact, Lukashenko tells them, go over there.
Yeah.
You can go ahead.
Yeah.
And a lot of them want to come back.
Yeah.
Because sure, you get more money. You earn more money there, but you wait till you have to pay your rent and pay your food bill, and in certain countries, and all these people are crying that have never been to Belarus, that are living in Canada.
Yeah, remember
they want to get out.
We saw some of those tweets of people paying 3 times as more and living twice as bad.
Yeah. That's another one. Yeah, they moved from Belarus to some place in the West, and they pay twice as much to live twice as bad as all that. And then there was these people, and it was on the radio, I was thinking, and there was, and also in the like on Telegram and stuff, these people, and they see how much better people are living in Belarus than in like Latvia and Lithuania, and it's not like everybody, but generally speaking, Belarusians probably live better than those people do, even though you don't earn as much, but the prices are much lower, and it's, I don't know.
Take a walk up Karl Marx Avenue on a Saturday next time.
Let me see, Karl Marx Avenue. Oh, that's I've been
in parallel with Independence Avenue.
Yeah, I've walked up there. We said a Saturday?
Yeah, walk up on a Saturday, all the cafes and all the restaurants there, and just see what the cars on the side of the road.
Yeah, there's other streets in that area too with a lot of cafes and things like that.
Yeah, but just see the cars on the road there.
No, I've seen it.
There's a lot of people doing well.
Yeah, BMWs and Jaguars and Teslas and things. Yeah, I see a lot of that here in Belarus.
Lamborghinis,
I'm just wondering what they
Bentleys.
do. Yeah. Yeah, then you go to other, then you go in the shopping malls. And I'm wondering who buys all these diamonds and these. I mean, they must make money. Otherwise, why would they be there?
They've been there since I've been here, so I'm coming
Yeah.
here. Like I've been coming here for years, and those shops are open and they're still going. So people are buying stuff.
Yeah, and like even people wearing T-shirts. And I remember when I was leaving the West, I bought like this T-shirt, Amazon. I bought it on Amazon for $4 or $5, and they cost more in Belarus. You can't get this T-shirt, but a regular T-shirts now cost more here. Shoes cost less, food costs less, but a lot of these items of clothes, and it's not that they cost a tremendous. What was it? No, I've seen. Let's see. I've seen them as low as 15 rubles, which is what I paid for this. But that's on a good sale. But you can, hunt around on Amazon and get it for $5.
That T-shirt I got you with the logo on, is that good quality? That T-shirt?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
okay.
Good.
So that's
better than this one, actually.
Yeah, that T-shirt with the logo on, being printed, that's only like 40 rubles.
Yeah.
That's because of the printing as well.
Oh, yeah, the printing is
Most
half of it, probably.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay, well, 20 rubles. If it was 20 rubles without the printing, that's fine. I'm just probably going to the wrong. What I'm talking about are the ones I see in the shopping malls. Maybe like Collins and all the expensive places. Collins isn't expensive, but
and there's a lot of shopping malls here. Lots
of them. I'm sick of shopping malls.
They're building some more. The one over here,
not far from here. Yeah.
The one over here is going to be the biggest one in Minsk.
That's what they say.
It doesn't look very big.
No, it doesn't. I'm sitting there.
Maybe it's got subterranean floors.
I was wondering, or maybe it, because I only see it from two sides, and I don't know. Does it go way back in the other direction or something? Or I don't know. That big building they're building right next to it. I'm wondering if that's going to be the mall, or is that going to be an apartment building, or I don't know. But you can't have a mall going up, whatever it is, 20 floors or something.
Why?
You
said you can't.
Can you imagine the elevators? How many elevators they'd have to have, and everybody?
Oh, yeah, true.
Instead of walking, they'd be
lots of escalators.
Yeah. Well, escalators. Yeah, that's a long way. But I also wanted to mention about this because I almost forgot, but I was mentioning it before. I was mentioning this guy, Austrian economist, and he's part of NATO. He's one of the expansion guys. He's a planner for NATO. His name is Gunther Fehlinger, and he's the one that's drew up all the maps of how they're going to divide up Russia into 30 different countries, and he's chosen flags for all of these different countries and all that. And he has stated in tweets that the countries that he hates the most in Europe, maybe discounting Russia, is Belarus and Serbia, and he kind of equates them, to be very similar. He really hates Belarus and Serbia, so it makes you really wonder what they're going to do with Serbia. And you also think, well, they carved off part of Serbia already to make Kosovo. So I wonder what's going to be in store. So we all have to keep watching. Matter of fact, Chebo even said that. He and I are of the same mind when it comes to this. That's amazing. Speaking of Belarus, again, there's this major general from your hometown, or your home area, Dave, from Australia.
Yeah, okay, don't put me in with these dicks.
Yeah, this guy, he's supposed to be a general. I'm thinking, look at this. He looks like some wimp.
Is he the one that said the army here is crap and all that?
Yeah. Yeah, this guy's really delusional, so we can tear him apart after he's finished talking here. What is it? Let's see, number 6. I call him Wimpy.
Well, Ukraine's had troops stationed on its northern border.
I'm a general. I'm a major general.
The beginning of the war, when it kicked the Russians out in that direction, it's had to have troops there because this is where the Russians invaded from originally.
No, they didn't.
Is a potential axis of advance for future Russian invasion. So they've prudently kept troops there. There is no intention of the Ukrainians, from what we can see, to go into Belarus. Even if they did, they would make short work of what is a pretty small and pathetic Belarusian military. So Lukashenko is really
with
just
nuclear
stirring
bombs.
the pot here. Ukraine isn't interested in picking a fight with another country.
Jeez, this guy. He's like that. Who's this guy for CNN that doesn't really know that much about it? He's even worse than this guy, actually. Well, this guy had some truth in there. You know, they did have some soldiers come in, I think, near the south of Gomel,
Yeah,
but they only went in a short distance.
Yeah, they went to that airfield near Kiev.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they went. They had some specific little task, but the vast majority of all the soldiers, of course, they came in through the Donbass, Russian soldiers. So he's asking, yeah, that was the main staging area through Belarus, but you know, they did have air power launched from Belarus. That's undeniable. And the strange thing is, these guys don't even mention that, but I know that for a fact, and I won't even tell you why. But I know that they launched a lot of airplanes from Belarus, but they didn't launch a big military operation. You know, through a bunch of these guys are a bunch of liars and stuff. So anyway, but that was only like for a day or two in the Air Force thing, and then they stopped it. I think maybe Lukashenko said, no, that's not going to be a staging ground.
Yeah, they need to stop threatening Belarus constantly. That would be a good idea.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if you look at this, look at Poland and Belarus. Poland. Belarus. That's a new country.
Yeah.
Dang, that's what they're going to name it when they invade.
Belarus.
Yeah, Belarus. Polaris that's a Belarusian firm that makes like kettles and stuff. But anyway, or maybe it's a Russian.
Nuclear submarine as well, American.
Oh yeah, that's true. Polaris.
Yeah.
That's a movie, I think.
Vessel.
But I got to make sure I don't say Polaris. Don't say Polaris again.
Poland.
But Poland, if you compare what is Belarus's part in helping Russia to Poland's part in helping the U.S., which is basically the one who's actually doing all the fighting and not Ukraine. Ukraine is just a proxy. Then you'll see that Poland is vastly more involved in the war, between Ukraine and Russia than Belarus is in this war between Belarus and Ukraine. I mean, Russia and Ukraine.
And Germany and France.
Yeah, because Belarus basically stays, there's no hostility stuff. There's not sending things or nothing like that. No soldiers there, but Poland has got masses of soldiers. And as a matter of fact, we'll even have some testimony right here too. So let's see. Let's get to that. Yeah, Wimpy the General. So
he needs to take his voice down a couple of octaves.
He needs to get a set. Maybe he got attacked by a shark. Was he Navy or?
No.
Well, maybe he got bayoneted in the wrong place or something.
Sounded like it.
Yeah, anyway, he doesn't sound like a military guy is all. He doesn't look like one either. He looks like Wimpy or something.
Needs to pass puberty.
Yeah, and he says, "Oh, Ukraine has no intention." Well, why are they sending drones over Belarus? And I don't know if what Lukashenko said is still true, because at one time I think they had 120,000 troops. It's not just Ukrainian; they're Ukrainian and Polish on the border of Belarus. So why do they need 120,000? And guess what? The entirety of Belarus's entire forces in the whole country is 60,000. It's half as much as what Ukraine has on the southern border. Yeah. And then, of course, there's some Russians here now as well. I don't know what the exact number is, but I think it was throughout all of Belarus is 30,000. So at maximum, if they sent everything there, they would have 90,000, and Ukraine has 120,000. So, but Ukraine has no intention of invading Belarus.
There's a few hundred.
Of course, Estonia doesn't have a border with Belarus.
That's why they have nukes now.
Yeah, and Lukashenko saw this and said, okay, he didn't like nukes. There were nukes here. It's just like there were in Ukraine after the collapse of the Soviet Union. And then, Ukraine keeps quoting the Budapest Memorandum, which is nothing but a memorandum, which is not an agreement.
It doesn't matter. They weren't their nukes. They were the Soviet Union.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Still have to give them back. Be like me parking my car in your backyard, and then you saying, "Oh, okay, I'll give it to you back," and then saying it was your car in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And Ukraine acts as if those were their nukes. They didn't even make them. They were just stationed on their soil. And Lukashenko, I think he even could have had them, but he said no, he doesn't want them, and he sent them all back. And now he wants some. These are the tactical nukes, the smaller ones, which are also extremely devastating, because Poland has even said they want to invade Belarus. They've even said it, and as a matter of fact, they've even shown it. I don't know if it's still the case, but you can get, if you're living in the Brest region, I'm not even sure, maybe the Grodno region, which is also in the west, there's a standing offer from the Polish government that they will give you a Polish passport. So, you know, and it might have been the same sort of a deal what happened in 2008 with South Ossetia. A lot of those people in South Ossetia, when Georgia invaded South Ossetia and Russia had to come afterwards, a lot of those people had Russian passports. And it's very possible that Russia maybe, you know, actually they probably asked for Russian passports. But anyway, that's a different story. So let's see where we at now. We already passed Wimpy. Yeah. Oh, anyway, that's, I should shout out to Steve. He's the one that actually mentioned that. I made that in your, no, not your chat. I guess that was Michael's chat, the Belarus chat, you know, talking about this stupid general. And Steve said, yeah, and not to mention the fact that Lukashenko has some nukes too. So, yes, so, and he's not afraid to use them, a lot of people say. I don't think I would be testing Lukashenko. You know,
he doesn't have to ask Russia to use them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think he's very trustworthy. He doesn't have any kind of a track record of ever starting any conflicts anywhere on Earth. He's never invaded anywhere. So he might look like a hard ass, but he is actually, he should get the Peace Prize. He's the guy that says, you know, maintain peace longer than anyone.
He's a peacemonger.
Yeah, peacemonger. Yeah. Isn't that incredible how they, maybe just because he looks really stern, they make everybody think he's the evil guy and he wants to attack and take over the, well, they don't say he wants to attack over the world. They say Putin does. Anyway. So, what else do we have? Oh.
I bet you if Juanita was in power, she would be using the troops to attack Russia.
Yeah. That'd be really stupid, but she probably would.
Trying to help Ukraine.
And then she would probably only do that when she gets a promise. The United States says, yeah, we got your back. Don't worry, we got your back. Like they probably did with Ukraine.
Oh, they're already saying that to her now.
Yeah. Well, that's, I think, what Lukashenko was alluding to, what in that little talk that he was giving with that interview, they abandoned, you know, the United States abandons everybody after. They say, give you all these promises, and then it comes down to deliver. Bye-bye.
Vietnam?
Yeah. I don't even make you wonder how many times they've done it.
Iraq?
Yeah.
Libya? Syria?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm sure they did it in Libya. And now Libya's a big mess now. Yes. Oh, and I remember we were talking about Kosovo. Did you know that they were training Ukrainian troops in Kosovo too?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, not just the UK, not just Germany, not just the United States, but they trained Ukrainian troops there as well. And now we can jump to number 7, Putin. And I don't know if he's still there today. Is he still in Azerbaijan? I think he was there today, but I don't know if he's there now. Maybe he would have left. And there's a lot behind this too. You got to see what's going on there. Traditionally, Russia was very good friends with Armenia, because Armenia, you know, that was like some of the earliest Christians. And Russia's mainly a Christian country. Azerbaijan is a lot of Muslims.
Just to interrupt, did you see yesterday, was it yesterday or day before, the Ukrainian Orthodox Church is now banned in Ukraine?
Yeah, wow, yeah. That just came through yesterday, I think, right?
Yeah.
Incredible. Jeez. That shows freedom of religion. You have all that, you know, the what is it, the shining democracy of Ukraine. Jeez. And it was called before the Ukrainian Orthodox Church. It was not called the Russian Orthodox Church in Ukraine. It was called the Ukrainian Orthodox Church. And now the one they have supplanted is called the Orthodox Church of Ukraine. You know, just turn some words around. But this deal here with Azerbaijan, and the importance of this one is, and it was a couple weeks ago, and I never posted it, but I had, you know, they had the maps and all this. Well, there's that north-south trade corridor. Have you been hearing about that?
To Iran?
Yeah, and it's like really huge. It's worth billions and billions, and it goes from maybe northern Russia, at least by Moscow, and it probably will go all the way to the Persian Gulf, I'm imagining. And most of that is to deliver, and I didn't, you know, Iran has natural gas, but for some odd reason, this is going to boost delivering Russian natural gas to Iran is going to boost Iran's economy. But I thought they had a lot of natural gas.
It's probably due to sanctions. They can't get the equipment.
Yeah, I don't know what that's all about, but it's more than just that. It's a lot of other trade. It's lots of things. And with the United States they're trying to get an east-west corridor, the United States, and maybe it's to compete with the Belt and Road that China is actually bringing through from the east to the west. And the United States is very sneaky trying to do this other thing. And they were actually getting very close, but I think they would also need Azerbaijan. And I don't know, maybe they're going to try to work over Azerbaijan as well. And that's probably why the U.S. has been promising the moon and the stars to Armenia and trying to get Armenia to turn against Russia and all that. And the people like Russia, but the leader, maybe they're giving him some good deal, and he's kind of wishy-washy back and forth, a little bit of Russia. And
I think in the Armenian capital today they were throwing eggs at the Belarusian embassy.
Armenia, the Belarusian embassy.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah, that's probably what we're talking about. NGO people and all that sort of stuff.
Oh,
it's probably not the majority of the people.
No, because apparently Lukashenko said something about their leader or something. So.
Yeah, but they don't like their own leader, most of them. So it's probably.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, if that's true, you know, I wouldn't doubt it. That's these NGOs like NED and Voice of America and Radio Free Europe and all these NGOs that are staging that. That's part of their training, I guess, because obviously they're going to have those in Armenia. So that's interesting. I didn't know that. That's good information. But anyway, this north-south corridor, and I don't even think Russia would have to do that, but they probably have to, because what is it? The Caspian Sea. They can, if it was like pipeline or even ships, they can go on the Caspian Sea and send it down to Iran. And I don't know that they would necessarily. It'd just make it much easier and much more convenient, but it would also benefit Azerbaijan. So that's going to be something in the future that we'll all hear about. This trade corridor and this relationship.
We're off YouTube now, so you can say whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
No, for some reason it just dropped. So tonight we've got issues.
Okay. I can cuss now. No. Yeah, what is that? I don't know what the United States has that route. I even had maps and stuff when I didn't save these things because I can't, maybe I should try to find a place to save all these things and so I could show them when this stuff becomes relevant, like right now, that the U.S. corridor that they're trying to
now we're back
push
on
through.
We're back on YouTube again.
Back again. Okay. I take back what I just said. But YouTube, no.
Seems to be dropping off and then coming back on again. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe they're trying to piss people off not to watch us. I'm not going to watch this anymore. Yeah.
Tune into Rumble.
Yeah.
They kicked the judge off as well for a few days. 13 days or something.
13. I think the first one is 1 week, right?
Is that 7 days? Is that what it is?
I'm thinking, I'm not positive. And I think the third one is, what were we have, 3 months or a long time?
No, only 30 days, I think.
30 days? That was a long one. It's like, man. And I think if it was one more time, we'd be off for good, right?
Mm-hmm. But now we're zero. We've zeroed it.
We can
start again.
We can start insulting again.
Yeah.
Talking about shot
X,
in the
Y,
arm.
and Z.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, that north-south thing, it's going to be, because I think Russia is going to be perpetually under sanctions and probably Iran. So that'll be really good, especially even linking up to Azerbaijan, really bring some stability to a lot of these countries there. Just like what we were talking about with Hungary, Slovakia, and Serbia. Just thinking.
The judge is back on YouTube.
Oh, that was short.
Yeah, just having a look. He's live with Colonel McGregor right now.
Yeah, it was 1 week, I think. 1 week for the first strike.
Jimmy Dore's live as well.
Yeah, do they kick him off sometimes?
Don't run off and leave us here. What?
Oh, do they kick him off sometime too, Jimmy Dore?
No.
Oh, there's some of the good guys. Okay.
I think they said they took one of his videos off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, anyway, but this meeting between now I forgot Alev. What's his name? What's this guy's name?
It's ridiculous. Sorry, with YouTube, we've got 3 videos now.
Alev. Huh? We got what?
Well, 3 videos because it's been cut 3 times, so we've got 3 separate
so
videos.
it's running 3 times.
Oh no, like the first section and then the next
Oh.
section. It's just non-stop with this YouTube crap.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Okay,
that's me.
this
moaning.
Aliyev.
Who?
Aliyev, whatever this guy. He's the leader of Aliyev.
This guy.
Yeah, he has just now officially applied to join BRICS. So, and with this new corridor coming through with these goods, okay, that's going to be some really good stuff. So,
Belarus is going to join it too as well.
yeah, and they're already in Shanghai now, right?
Yes, they're number
Wow.
10, 10th one.
10th one, cool.
They want to be the 10th one. Oh no, there's 10 in BRICS right now. So Belarus will be after that.
Wow, cool. I don't know if it's what benefits
Thailand
it
wants to
actually
join
brings.
as well.
Yeah, everybody's trying to jump on board, jump off the dollar for one thing if they can. Oh, what was that? Who's been talking about the currency? I think some people were maybe just predicting they might come up with a currency.
Yeah, Trump said today that he'll get the debt down rapidly.
He'll what?
He'll get
debt down,
the
yeah.
35 trillion plus debt down really quickly.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Well, I tell you
He's-
what,
he's
Trump's
also-
better, but he's not a
Yeah,
miracle
what
man.
else did he suggest? He said just get rid of all income tax in America. Yes, and just put more money on tariffs and import duties.
Well, that's interesting.
I
Well,
don't
he
think-
had
I
some
don't-
good ideas in
Yeah,
his
but that
first
money
term.
doesn't go to the government, does it? It's just
Tariffs.
passed on to the consumer. Is it?
Let me think.
Is it? It must be. Yeah, it must be going to the government.
I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
Yeah, but no. What I mean is the people selling don't pay it. It's the consumers that pay it, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, definitely. Because I remember when I was importing things, I'm the one that had to pay, and the government, gets all the money. I do all the work, they pay all the money, and they get the collected. They just said,
So that's what he wants to do. He wants to put on
Give me the
more
money.
import duties and more tariffs on stuff, and then drop income tax.
well, he had the opportunity zones, right?
Don't know.
Yeah, he started that in his first one. I think some of them were the inner cities even and things. But I was suggesting, if I could speak Russian, I would suggest to the government here. See, they want to develop a lot of the rural parts of Belarus, that they start opportunity zones. Some certain areas where it's like low or no taxes, and get
And also they should do
places developed.
no income tax for the people that work there. Then people would move there as well.
Yeah, something like that. Anything to incentivize people to set up and to work in some areas, because a lot of these villages, they're getting drained. It's just filled with a bunch of old
They used to
people
do that
now.
with the Northern Australia where we used to live. They used to have lower taxes, higher wages, and more holidays.
Oh,
So then
paid holidays, huh?
Yeah, than southern. So a lot of people used to go up there because it was, it's
That's a
oppressive.
good idea.
But then they just stopped it eventually.
Maybe it got developed enough. Maybe, I don't know.
Looks like it.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, they should do stuff like that here. I thought they were going to come up with some plan, and I forgot all about it. Unfortunately, I can't read Russian yet, so I got to find out all this stuff later on. So, Sergei Lavrov, he has come out and made some statements lately, but some of the interesting things he said is, let's say we have a picture. I think it's number 8.
Yeah, I'm getting
Looks like a mean guy. But anyway, he has come out and he has said that there's no way that Ukraine invading Kursk was done, like the U.S. telling them not to go, and they did it anyway. Oops, whoa. So, well, what he's implying is actually the United States told Zelensky to invade Kursk. Sure gave him a lot of the resources, a lot of the soldiers, or a lot of mercenaries, lots of Polish soldiers there, and soldiers from many different places.
There's a photo of a private military company in Americans in Ukraine.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
that
Kursk,
is
in the Kursk thing.
yeah, forward operation. I have it written down here too. It's they use the acronym FOG. Let's see. Let me get to that. Yeah, but anyway, he said it. That the U.S.'s claim is childish. He said it's childish babble. What the U.S. claims that You know, like whatever they say, oh, we didn't know about it, or we tried to stop and we said not to do it. That's BS. And so first we'll get to the childish babble of the DNC. You know, I mean, did you see some of those things? I didn't.
No, but I talked to Rolf and he said it was sickening.
Yeah, I didn't post any because I was thinking it was so ridiculous. And they got like Schumer, and I think it was even.
It's like a cult, isn't it?
Yeah, it's this crap, and you can't even believe it. Like it was, I think, the husband of Kamala Harris, that Jewish guy. He comes and does some weird dancing. He was speaking, I guess. I didn't watch it. I wasn't interested whatsoever. But he's kind of coming out and dancing. And these people, they do a lot of talking, but they don't say anything. There's no substance in anything they're really saying. You know, and then even the stuff that you think is substance is just fantasy stuff. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You know, and you know, I don't know what talking about a yellow school bus or whatever.
How come we haven't done it already?
Yeah, under Joe Biden or any of these other people.
Yeah, she keeps saying that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
And look at her main job, her only job, I think, under Biden was the border. And she screwed it up completely. And the only time it's been working, I think, is the last week, right? That all of a sudden there's been less migrants coming across. And it's like, and I don't even know why that is, to be honest with you. Maybe they actually did tighten it up, and the real thing is they were trying to let as many come in as possible. Yeah, but there's some protests outside.
That's why Poland said they closed the borders, you know, because of the migrants coming from here.
Yeah, and then there's talking now about maybe opening them up
again. Yeah,
but that's weird.
Well, because they need the money.
Well, you know what they should do? Why don't they friggin' make an agreement with Belarus? I mean, even though the West is going to be pissed off because their duty is to be as cruel as they can to Russia and Belarus. But you know, look at Hungary gets away with getting a few things. They see they're still getting Russian gas. Why doesn't Poland just say, okay, well, we will do some arrangement so that we don't get the migrants coming through? Because they don't like the migrants, and
well, Belarus used to stop them, but then they stopped helping with the.
But that cost them money.
Yeah.
Cost Belarus money.
Yeah, well, the Europeans stopped paying the money, so that was that.
Yeah, they stopped paying the money, and then Belarus says, well, so. We're going to let them
but
through.
Poland's still getting a lot of stuff from Russia, like aluminium and lots of things.
I think they're even still getting oil and gas, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think even, yeah.
I heard gas has gone up.
The price?
No, more. They're buying more gas from Russia.
I think
LNG.
I think I saw that too. A lot more, I believe. But But anyway, this we have a number 9.
This one?
Yeah, this is the first one. This guy. I think this is this guy wearing a woman's halter top thing, and he's even got breasts, and he's using obscene language, and you know,
are they
to the police.
Are they strap-on breasts?
Maybe. See, I don't know. I just was noticing that it looks like he's got breasts. We'll see here. But you know, this is pro-Palestinian. I'm thinking, well, that doesn't fit. These guys are. Look at him. See?
Oh yeah. How do you know it's a man?
Listen to his voice. Unless you got some.
Oh yeah, okay.
Women's clothes. The pro-Palestine.
Maybe he wears them so he doesn't get in trouble.
Look at this guy. I didn't think you could talk to people like that anywhere. You can't talk to. I didn't think you could talk to policemen like that in anywhere in the world. So this is the States, huh?
Yeah.
I guess. And DNC. Well, I guess it's, you know, when we were growing up, it was sticks and stones and hurt my bones, but names will never hurt me. You know, so. And that's what we were. But this guy is a liberal, and normally liberals.
Have you noticed how all these left people are really violent?
Yeah, and he's acting the opposite of how he would want somebody to act towards him. You know, oh, you violated me, you called me this and all that, you know. So it's really strange. So he's not acting like a liberal in that sense. It's just confusing. Sorry about that, everybody. I'll be sitting there trying to figure out what this guy's up to, you know, for a long time. And we have number 10. There's no nuts, but nutty people. I mean, you can see here, but it's incredible that they have these. But I don't know that they're necessarily anti-Democrats or anything. I don't understand, because that That guy with the
Where's
brawl.
this? Chicago.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's all weird stuff. Maybe there's people just protest everything. They didn't do that with the Republican thing, did they? There was no big
No,
protest.
I don't think so.
It's weird. I don't understand what's going on. And this can't be staged by the Republicans. Because the Republicans,
No, these people hate the Republicans.
yeah, that's what's weird. You know who did it? Putin. Putin did it. And, you know, talking about Israel, Gaza, all that sort of stuff, it's just the same old stuff. Israel continues to bomb, you know, some retaliation things by the, you know, the Palestinians blow up a tank here and there. And, you know, Lebanon is getting bombed, and I think Lebanon maybe makes a few hits inside of Israel. It's just the same repeat. Rinse and repeat, you know, as last week, or last show. So I don't know. There's not that much to say about it, except for the fact that there's just one picture. Is this kind of weird? Look at this. These people, they say tents, but it's, I don't know, you call it a tent?
Is that a graveyard?
Yeah. So they set up near a graveyard. I'm wondering if that's a good move. Maybe it is. I don't know. Does Israel bomb graveyards too?
Well, don't have to go far.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. If you know, they just have, they're already there. But yeah, I don't know. It's terrible what they're doing to the Palestinians and all that sort of. That's Khan Yunis. Now I have some. You know, I had this part I was talking. You were asking about that that private military corporation. I don't know if I have a picture of it, but it's a. Let me see. Yes, maybe not. But anyway, that's not a big deal. But they have. It's called Forward Observation
this
Group. That's one of them. I saw a different one where you can clearly see the American flags on their shoulders. And there's Forward Observation Group. And as a matter of fact, that was the type of unit I was in when I was in the military last. That's what these guys probably do, for the most part. But we didn't engage enemies. We mostly were there for observation. So we were a forward, as a matter of fact, we were a forward observation group. What these guys called themselves was what we actually were. I don't know if these guys are shooting and killing or not, or maybe just for that kind of stuff. Yeah, but they're in Kursk, and they're probably killing Americans. I mean, killing Russians. As a matter of fact, I think they have some footage with Americans somewhere in the area when they're killing Russians. So I'm sure Russia's not that happy about it. But yes, in number 12, I had just a nice video, and of the Middle East, and this is just, you know, see some. We didn't show any blood and guts anyway, but this is shows you some of the first Christians, how they are today, in the place where the Christianity was born. Some nice looking gals here too. See, it's Palestine, and they don't have their hair covered. I mean, those areas, none of these women have their hair covered. So it's the Middle East. And how they worship in Ukraine, that's number 13. We have some worshippers of...
Yeah, we showed this last time. Oh, the one
Did we?
time. Yeah, remember we said it was a Nazi World War II unit.
Yeah. I thought I'd show some church,
Nightingale
some churchgoers from
first.
Churchgoers from Ukraine. Look at their nice Sunday best. There's another one. I put the bus driver, but I think public transport. That's how they worship in the United States, is the bus driver. Should we show that again or not?
Yes, and then we can tell what happened.
Yeah, since you found out. 15 is a nice one too, but we'll show that.
So essentially, we played this last
without knowing what it was about. Now we do. Apparently this young guy spit on the bus driver.
Yeah.
See me right now. You spit and see me right
Yeah, see, you spit.
You spit. Go that way.
Driver. Oh my God. No, damn.
Good guy. We're on the bus driver's side here. And that boy probably never didn't grow up with a daddy probably, so he never was disciplined for spitting on people and things like that. So it's a long time in coming.
And the bus driver got suspended.
Yeah,
for that.
So they fired the bus driver, unfortunately.
Oh, suspended him so far.
Well, normally, that means he's gone, right?
Well, he's with pay, I suppose. He's at home.
Yeah?
Or maybe not without pay. But
Normally it means, yeah, well, how I
he's on his
always
way.
understand it is you're
out.
fired. Yeah, unfortunately. Yes.
Not allowed to do that yourself. Apparently because he put him in a chokehold.
Hmm. Yeah, what was that? Eric? No, who's that guy with the... Who was this drug dealer, remember?
On the train?
No, that was before, and Candace Owens actually did this thing about him, and Derek Chauvin. Remember the policeman, and he had that guy that took a bunch of fentanyl? Floyd, yeah.
St. Floyd.
Saint, yeah, so he's the next Jesus and stuff. The drug dealer who did a lot of terrible crap. And he took fentanyl. That's why he couldn't breathe. He was walking around and saying he can't breathe. Matter of fact, he did it. I think it was you told me that he was even arrested at some other time and he was saying he can't breathe, right?
Yeah, a few times.
So he says that all the time.
Yeah, he just, as they were arresting him, he just swallowed everything.
Yeah. And another nice video, number 15. Just nice. This is Russia. Now, we've been seeing the United States in the buses and Ukraine doing their worshiping with their salute. And look at how bad these Russians are. I bet she's cold. That video really makes a statement, I think, that's really something.
Where's that?
It's obviously somewhere up in the Arctic with an icebreaker there. Yeah. Boy, and she had to walk out there too, so I don't know, maybe she had a coat and maybe they're
maybe
just
behind,
right off the side.
Behind the camera they've got coats.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, I'll tell you, doesn't look very warm up there. So, actually, that's all I have.
So the UK, Great Britain.
Yeah, here we go. That's what we were going to talk about.
Yeah, so what's been going on? As we showed in the last show, people getting arrested for posts on Facebook and Twitter. They're breaking down doors, dragging people off. And then they've got the protests, which weren't that very big anyway, and they've been violent and arresting people. And then other protesters for left-wing things are breaking things and smashing things, and they're not getting in trouble. To policing.
I think there was one time in Belarus here, and they had it on the news. I think somebody, they arrested somebody for something online, but I believe it was, again, some sort of a threat for killing or something like that. I'm not even positive. But anyway, they arrested somebody one time. But, I guess they say if you compare how many people are, arrested for just saying stuff online in the UK compared to Russia and Belarus, it's just, what is it, like 20 to 1? They arrested.
No, it's more than that. It's like thousands in the UK compared to like 20
here.
or 30, yeah, something like that.
Wow.
So it looks like you've had too much to think.
That's a good one. Yeah. Thought police.
Yeah. So and they're thinking about bringing in some more laws. Digital ID is about to come into the UK.
Digital IDs, and what would that entail? You have a card, or is it a?
No, it'll be digital to do stuff, but it's only going to be voluntary to use it, of course. But of course, you won't be able to do anything without it.
Yeah, if you don't have it, and It's like when I was in St. Vincent before I came here to Belarus. It was the leader there was trying to force vaccinate everybody. We're still on YouTube, but I won't. I don't think I'm going to say anything. Yeah, tried to force vaccinate everybody, and if you didn't get, if you had certain jobs like school teacher and all that, and you didn't get it, you got fired from your job.
Yeah, it's the same in England and all that.
Yeah.
And you know the journalist Richard Medhurst?
Let's see.
This guy?
No.
Okay, so he's an independent journalist.
Maybe I've seen him.
Listen to what he has to say.
My name is Richard Thomas Medhurst. I'm an internationally accredited journalist from the United Kingdom. On Thursday, as I landed in London Heathrow Airport, I was immediately escorted off the plane by 6 police officers who were waiting for me at the entrance of the aircraft. They arrested me, not detained, they arrested me under Section 12 of the Terrorism Act of 2000 and accused me of allegedly, quote, expressing an opinion or belief that is supportive of a prescribed organization, unquote, but wouldn't explain what this meant. One officer took my bags, and when I asked why he was still back in the aircraft, I was told, look, mate, you can get nicked right here in front of everyone, or in there, your choice. So I was taken to an adjacent room, patted down, my phone confiscated. I was not allowed to inform my family. Despite being calm and cooperative, I was handcuffed with something that placed my shoulders in an awkward position and my wrists on top of, rather than next to each other. The handcuffs were extremely tight. Despite the police loosening them, they left marks on me for 2 days. The police took me down onto the runway, put me in a police van, essentially a mobile cage, and informed me that everything was being recorded. The van was cramped. I had to struggle the entire time to keep my balance and try not to fall over as we drove to the police station. Now, once inside the station, they searched me again for the second time within 10 minutes. I was told to sit on a bench, remove my shoes, remove my socks. I was told to turn my socks inside out and hold them up for the officers to inspect. They also made me hold up my feet so they could check them as well. The officers took me to a room with UV lights, which they told me is used to catch burglars who are sprayed with something. I have no idea why they did this, since they just removed me off of a plane. My suitcase was then opened in the lobby and ransacked. All of my journalistic equipment and devices were seized, including phones, SIM cards, wireless microphones, headphones, even my shoelaces. They later took my DNA as well, my fingerprints, palm prints, and photographed me. I was placed in solitary confinement in a cold cell that smelt like urine. There was barely any light, and the bed, if you can even call it a bed, was simply a small concrete ledge with a paper-thin mattress. The cell had no windows, no heating, no toilet paper. I was recorded 24/7 with audio and video, even when going to the toilet. I had to eat
no
food
toilet paper
with a piece of cardboard that you were supposed to fold in two in order to scoop up the meal. The police said that I have the right to inform someone that I'm locked up. So I said, okay, I want to call my family. And then they'd go, well, your calls are withheld because of the nature of the alleged offense. I tried to ask, well, what's the point of a right if you can just randomly withdraw it? Why tell me that I have this right at all? And one of them said something along the lines of, well, it's not an absolute right, it can be waived. Similarly, they said I had the right to know why I was being detained. So I asked again, and the police would say something like, well, we're just the arresting officers, we don't really know. Or this will be explained to you during the interview, or some other generic response. Now, despite the police officers' civility and cheerfulness, I felt that the whole process was designed to humiliate, intimidate, and dehumanize me, and treat me like a criminal, even though they must have been aware of my background and that I'm a journalist. I was under surveillance almost the entire time, from the moment I was arrested until I was released, be it in the police van, in the station, the cell, all of it. No privacy whatsoever. Many of my requests were also delayed or outright ignored. When I was detained, I asked for water several times. The police would always say sure, but then I ended up waiting hours for a tiny cup of water. I asked if I could have my own clothes because I was in a t-shirt. It was cold and I couldn't sleep. They said they'd give me a pullover, but never did, although one guard did give me a second blanket. See, you have to nag and nag for the most basic things, and this is why I was afraid that they weren't even going to call a solicitor for me. I was able to see the nurse on one occasion, but on 3 other occasions, when I asked to see the nurse, they'd say yes and then nothing. For many hours, no one in the world knew what had happened to me or where I was. Only the police could call a solicitor for me. I had to ask like 4 or 5 different guards for several hours until I finally received a call. Some of my solicitor's calls did not get through or were not answered. One of the calls, my solicitor was told, would be monitored, and so they simply refused to take it. I asked to speak to the solicitor afterwards when that happened, but I was not allowed to. In total, I spent almost 24 hours in detention. At no point whatsoever was I allowed to speak to a family member or a friend. After waiting 15 hours, I was finally interviewed by 2 detectives. The interview lasted about an hour and a half, maybe something like that. So there's clearly no need to hold me there this entire time. But I believe this was done on purpose to try and rattle me psychologically. That failed. I categorically and utterly reject all the accusations by the police. I am not a terrorist. I have no criminal record. Prior to this incident, I'd never been detained in my entire life. I'm a product of the diplomatic community, and I'm raised to be anti-war. Both of my parents won Nobel Peace Prizes for their work as United Nations peacekeepers. They had a tremendous effect on my worldview and outlook, and instilled in me the importance of diplomacy, international law, and peace. I myself am a victim of terrorism. When I attended the British school in Islamabad, the Egyptian embassy adjacent to my school was blown up in a double bombing. I categorically and unequivocally condemn terrorism. I am a Medhurst. My family goes back 1,000 years in this country. I come from a long line of public servants. My father served in the London Metropolitan Police before entering the United Nations. He is an expert and an authority on counter-terrorism who taught me much. My grandfather was in the Royal Air Force during World War II, and his father before him in the British Army in World War I. I perhaps don't have the same career paths as them, but I consider my journalism to be a public service and my way of doing my bit for the country by providing a counterweight to mainstream media. I love my country. I respect its laws and its legal institutions. I get the feeling, nevertheless, that those like myself who are speaking up and reporting on the situation in Palestine are being targeted. I had booked my ticket to London on the same date, and yet an entire team of police were mobilized to arrest and question me. This is why I felt that this was a pre-planned, coordinated arrest. Many people have been detained in Britain because of their connection to journalism, sometimes under the Terrorism Act, sometimes not. I think of Julian Assange, Craig Murray, Kit Clarenberg, David Miranda, Vanessa Beeley. As far as I'm aware, I'm the only journalist, however, to have been arrested and held for up to 24 hours under Section 12 of the Terrorism Act. Keep in mind the conditions that I outlined previously. The psychological element where you're made to wait endlessly. You've not been told what you're accused of, nor when you'll be questioned. Now, despite having been released unconditionally, I do not feel that my bail is truly unconditional. I'm effectively in limbo, not knowing if I will be charged in 3 months or if I will go to prison. Journalism is my livelihood. I have an ethical and a moral responsibility toward the general public to inform. But I feel that a muzzle has been placed on me. I simply do not know if or how I can work at all during the next months. Palestine, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, remain the most pressing news story in the world. However, it seems that any statement, no matter how innocent, how factual and well-intentioned, can be skewed and twisted into an offense of the highest order. This is precisely the danger and the absurdity of the Terrorism Act that I have always sought to impress upon the public, long before I ever became a victim of it myself. It is out of control. It has no place in a democracy. Counter-terrorism laws should be used to fight actual terrorism, not journalism. We cannot call ourselves a democracy as long as reporters are dragged off of planes and detained and treated like murderers. I am disgusted that I am being politically persecuted in my own country. Now, as I do not know if I can still report as a journalist for the next months, I kindly ask you for your support during...
Wow.
There you go.
That's incredible. I remember...
You know, under that Terrorism Act as well, you know, when they take your phone and your laptop and all that, if you don't give them the password and the PIN codes, you're deemed guilty straight away.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, you have to give it to them. You can't not give it to them.
I remember I was taken, I don't know, what do you call it, prisoner? I was detained. Actually, I wasn't arrested. I was detained. They took me and threw me in this... actually, they're trying to trip me and make me trip and fall and break my teeth on some steps. And then I've been a couple of times. I've been, you know, anyway. But this is one of the times. The latest time, that was some years ago. And then they were putting me in this little box, this wooden box out in the sun. And they had some little it was actually used as a place for the police to go in, but they were putting me in there, and they shut the windows and the doors and all that, trying to cook me. That's what they said. People were saying, oh, they tried to cook you, because that's what they, and what they did there. And then they took my phone, even though they're not allowed to do that. And I was there, I don't know, maybe, was it 12 hours? It wasn't 12 hours. Maybe it was like 10 hours or something. But yeah, and then, grab me by the shirt and start slamming me up against the wall, stuff like that. Gosh.
Yeah, so this is happening all across
times.
the UK. They're just arresting people, and
yeah, but mine. I mean, what I was doing, I was just trying to ship something. I was like, at that time I was growing coffee and I had avocados. I was sending avocados to a different island, to a store.
Avocados.
Yeah, and then they want to look in the box, and I, fine. And I said, do you have tape? And then, we don't have any tape, or whatever. Anyway, it was a deal about how they did my box, and anyway, so. But it wasn't. I mean, like a post. It looks like he said something positive about Hamas, so that all that, because he probably had something positive to say about Hamas. That's what I'm gathering. What this is all about.
He was reporting on what was going on there and all that. That's all. But even in the UK, things like this are happening. It's like stabbing of a young girl in the street by two people in a small town now. There's just violence everywhere. There's police are not.
So this stuff is but of course they're probably trying to block it out of the media, right?
Yeah. Well, this is in the media, but what they're doing is, of course,
and anybody that posts it, if you record it and then you put it online, then they come after you, right?
Yeah, and they're letting criminals out of the prison so they can put these other people in for social media posts.
Wow, because that's much worse. That's incredible. And I'll tell you what, you know that people are afraid to film something and post it.
Well, someone I was talking to today, I said, do you want to come on the show? And they said, well, I said, you can tell us what's going on in the UK. And they went, well, I don't really want to, just in case.
Yeah.
So they were a bit worried.
It's working.
Yeah.
It's working, just what they wanted. And they're gonna use fear to keep everybody silent. Keep you from telling the truth. So I don't know. It's like we're gonna be sheeple or something. I mean, I understand these people, because if I was living in the UK, I would probably also be hesitant about posting anything. If you can find some way where you're anonymous, but I don't know if there is such a way. Wow, incredible. Absolutely. So
yeah, that's all going on and on and on. Did you wanted to play this video the other day? I wasn't sure. This one here.
Oh, hello, y'all. Fucking got some bad news, eh? Just got back from the doctors, had a few tests, bit of blood test and that. Liver blood test. Confirmed it, monkeypox. I thought, for fuck's sake, and I was thinking like everybody else, it's fake and a load of bullshit. I'm going to lose that much money through losing work now. It's unreal. And I was like everybody else. I was thinking, oh, monkeypox, load of bollocks shit, eh? I mean, I didn't have any symptoms at first. So I've just gone in for some routine bloods. And he told me. So be careful out there. It's all right a bit.
Okay, that's good too. Like the guy laying in his bed, right? Banana milkshake.
Yeah, and remember the nurses during COVID? All the TikTok videos?
You mean the ones dancing?
Yeah, well, guess what? They're getting ready for the next pandemic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll tell you what. I knew some nurses. I knew one in Paris, and when it was supposed to be all the hospitals were filled and everything, they were empty. It was all a big friggin' lie. It's incredible. And remember when Alex Jones, he was filming, and they had all these people they showed you on the news lined up to go into the hospital at some place, I think it was in New York or whatever. And he went on there the next morning and he was filming and he says, look at this, everybody. And there was nobody there. It's like all crisis actors. You can't even believe it. Look at this stuff.
Yeah. So, and, okay, we could go on about that. I don't want to. Estonia, they had a parade the other day. Did you see the parade?
No.
This is Estonia.
I think so.
Where's Estonia?
Estonia is up above Latvia. It doesn't have a border with Belarus, but it has one with Russia.
Okay, so this is a parade a couple of days ago.
Oh, this is probably their whole military, right?
No, watch this. I'll put it on the big screen.
They raided the movie studios and got their costumes. Look at Curly from the Three Stooges. Look at that, right there. Oh, there's another Curly.
So there you go.
Jeez.
Anybody didn't notice that?
Zeke. Holy Ukraina.
Yes.
Slava Ukraina.
Off to America. Who's
Okay.
this?
Is that a real? Is that what she looks like now?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow, she's wearing her pajamas or something, huh? That's Big Mike, isn't it?
Or people now calling her Manshell.
Manchel. Gosh, what is that she's wearing even? She looks pretty burly. She looks like she's ready to go wrestle some hogs.
You know, she's really tall.
I didn't know how tall she was.
No,
but
very tall. And then they try and get Secret Service taller so she doesn't look as tall. And if you also notice, there's never any photos of her side on where you can see a part of her throat anatomy. There's always the hairs in the way and clothes are in the way.
Okay. I'd like to see maybe a close-up of her hands, but I don't know, maybe they don't show that either. Because that's how I remember the first time I saw some, I don't know what you call them, trans this or that or something. Somebody, anyway, looked like a woman kind of, but then you look at the hands and I said, that's not a woman. Those aren't pillows. Well, that was from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
And Chinese foreign ministers coming into town.
Oh.
So if you ever look, there's a lot of Chinese, obviously, flags around.
Santa
And yesterday,
Claus is coming to town.
in one of the gymnasiums, the Syrian ambassador died.
In Belarus?
Yeah, he had a heart attack. Yeah.
Whoa.
So one of the gyms we go to.
Oh, man.
Well, not we, my wife.
So how was he, like, very old, or he just had probably vaccine? I mean, I mean, he was in the vast side of the.
Yeah, I know. And
of the gymnasium.
Yeah.
Long time.
Back to the Mpox, because it's not called monkeypox anymore. Mpox.
Because it's insulting to monkeys.
Yeah, probably. It's probably. So it's they're now weighing in on the likelihood of UK lockdowns, which brings it into the tyranny of the UK.
Expert weighs in.
You know, all the people that have been infected by this are either gay, or I suppose you could say half gay, bi. They're the only people.
That little boy there? Or what is it? You also can get it from body fluids, right?
Yeah.
But I wonder how this boy got it.
Has he got it? Or is it just a picture of a boy?
Oh, boy with some bumps on him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never know.
Can you get it from eating monkeys?
I've never tried. No, I don't. What is it?
You've never had a monkey burger?
No. Don't think I will. But I don't know. Transmission. I don't know if I was thinking something about body fluids, but I don't know. I'm not really paying that much attention to it because
I just get a message
think
saying
it's
that was
irrelevant. Yeah. A bad joke or what?
Oh, I think so. No, that's all right. We're in clear. Okay, and Mrs. Macron.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen this latest photo?
No. Let's see. Oh, it's small. Can't make it bigger, huh? Because that one is. Let's see. That's Macron's wife? I can't tell so well. Oh, now I see what you mean. Huh. Wow. Well, maybe she's doesn't have room for a wallet, so she stuffed it in her private areas there.
Maybe.
Her money.
Maybe.
Just jingles, jingles. Jingle, jingle. What's the name of that song? The money doesn't winkle, winkle, jingle, jingles or something.
And
the Grand Canal, look at
Ireland.
This. Other end of the place as well. Oh, very Middle Eastern looking, lads. Alright, lads. What's the crack? Is all good?
Good. What's the crack?
Fucking state it is.
Oh, that's a camping area.
Yeah. Illegal aliens.
Jeez. Pretty soon they're going to be moved in all around there and everything, huh? Pretty damn weird how they do this stuff. And I guess it looks like, I don't know, that must be the Soros agenda. You know, you have the Israeli agenda is to, you know, and they kind of work side by side. That's the one that try to teach everybody to hate all these people. And Soros wants all these countries to accept all these people. And, you know, they're actually pitted against each other. Soros is, he's not Jewish. And he says he's atheist, of course, even though people call him Jewish. And then, yeah, then you have well, even the Israelis, they're not really even Jewish, not the government. They just say they're Jewish. Anyway, it's really weird, different agendas, trying to figure out what the heck is going on.
Yeah, okay, on that last note, what we're going through here is, come on, do an alien invasion. Monkeypox is no fun. So that's it. That's all us for tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big yawn. That must be the end of the show.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just stretching my jaw, you know, like resting my eyes.
Yes. So are we back on Sunday?
Yeah, I think so, huh?
Okay. Sunday. I've asked John O'Looney to come back on to talk about the Mpox, so we'll organise.
So he has some information about it, then, huh?
He's been on X doing stuff about it.
Okay, good.
Some stuff I can't play on YouTube, or otherwise I'd play it now.
Yeah, I wonder if we have to cut off the YouTube when he's on.
We're not going to bother doing YouTube when he comes on at all.
You hear that, everybody? So don't tune in next time to YouTube. You have to tune in to Rumble. Hey, ready to rumble, 8 o'clock, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be
Our time.
John O'Looney. He was
6 p.m. London time, 1 p.m. New York and Miami.
He was the
10 a.m.
man,
San Francisco.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, he was the guy that broke, you know, the stuff that was clogging into people's veins.
For some reason.
Became very, very well known worldwide during the pandemic time. So you'll have to tune in and see that. That always has some good information. Very, very good person too.
I got a good video on, if you want to watch it now. No, I suppose not. Remember we were talking about the anti-parasitic drugs curing cancer? With Andrew.
Maybe I was just kind of zoning out because you guys, I didn't understand maybe part of it.
Okay.
Talking about the medications or something.
Well, ivermectin and
remember that one?
Fenbizol, well, whatever it's called. Yes, there's more and more evidence now that they actually cure cancer, prostate cancer, lung cancer, brain cancer, breast cancer.
How long is the video?
Well, it's 9 minutes. It's a bit too long.
I think so.
We can play a bit of it.
Well, you can play the whole thing as far as I'm concerned.